Hello, you beautiful people. It's Big Ben Waddell, and this is Big Ben's Movie Show coming at you for another week. We're going to get right into the headlines here in a quick second, but first let me introduce my amazing co-host, Jason Allen.
Hi, how you doing? Great to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you. Jason is a local comedian and also does improv with the Cousin Cephas.
The Cousin Cephas Improv Project.
Cousin Cephas Improv Project. I was a part of it for a brief minute. I wish I was still a part of it. They do good stuff, great shows. Saw you guys at the Women's Center a couple months back, and you guys got another show coming up here in April. Right?
Yeah, April 12th at the Maltese. It's our second full show. We also do occasional appearances for variety shows. We did one in Sacramento last month.
Nice.
And we will also be appearing on February 5th as part of the Hank Duke Good Time Variety Show. The theme will be love. And yeah,
when is it not with Hank Duke?
Oh, it's all about the love with Hank Duke. It's so lovely.
That guy, every time I see him, huge hugs. And not one of those like bro hugs like pat and move on. No.
The shoulder pat with the nose in the air.
Full body, like he buries his nose in my chest, like the whole thing. Yeah, it's nuts. Anyway, getting on to headlines. Here we go. This big news this week came out yesterday. We're taping this Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday, and the Oscar nominations came out. It's a big deal every year, and of course the thing we all knew was going to happen, La La Land. La La Land's all over it. 14 nominations, tying the record. It's a big friggin' deal. The other thing that happened, and this is nuts, this is crazy, Mel Gibson has been allowed back into Hollywood. He was nominated for Best Director for his movie Hacksaw Ridge.
I gotta tell you, that's a comeback story if there ever was one.
Right? I mean, that's an amazing thing. I did see Hacksaw Ridge. I reviewed it here on the show. You can go back into the archives and watch that. But suffice to say, it's an amazing movie. He did do a really good job directing, and you can see the bits of all of his old movies in that movie. It's a pretty cool thing. Moving right along, next one up, Alec Baldwin, this is kind of cool, has been tabbed to host SNL for the record 17th time.
I gotta tell you, they should just let the guy just be in the cast if he wants to.
Okay, for this year, I thought he was.
I did too. I thought, with
Trump, I thought he was going to be a regular member of the cast.
As he should, because I don't think anybody else can do the role justice.
Oh, I think a couple of people can do it. I mean, Daryl Hammond's still floating around the building as the announcer. He can do Trump pretty well. They did get rid of Taron Killam, who also did Trump fairly well. I'm not sure why they got rid of him. I'm still bummed about that. But yeah, his Trump is much more of a caricature, funny Trump than the other impressions, which are trying to be more like accurate.
Well, it is, and also too. I mean, it's a success story for them for two reasons. Number one, they're in a renaissance right now, and this can only add to that. And number two, it gets under his skin.
Yeah, every time Baldwin does it, we get tweets from Trump like, why are this is sad? It's sad. Yeah, no, it's a lot of stuff going on there. Plus, he gets to do the butthole face every time, or just the. It's good stuff.
I love it.
All right. Okay, next thing going on. Stephen Colbert has been tabbed. He is going to be the host of the Emmys for this year. It's award season. All the big award shows are happening. We've already had the Golden Globes. And the Emmys to me are usually the other, like in terms of funniest, it's Golden Globes and then Emmys.
Agreed. And Stephen Colbert, he brings a little bit of an edge that some of the previous hosts haven't really brought.
Not so much. Yeah.
And there's also that potential of the political mentions and such.
I think he probably will. Yeah.
Which seems to be going around the award shows right now. So I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he goes with that. One of the things that I've noticed, so here's the things, Colbert went from being the host of the Colbert Report, then he transitioned into the Stephen Colbert Late Night Show. Here's my confession. I don't think I've sat through an entire episode of the Stephen Colbert Late Night Show.
I'll be honest with you. I'm an old man. I'm usually in bed by about 10.
I'm also a pretty middle-aged man, and even when I don't go to bed by 10, I'm up fairly later. But even with that, I'm watching like the other TV that I missed. I'm not usually watching the late night shows like that. When he did the Colbert Report, I did watch.
For sure.
It was an easily digestible 30-minute show. I could watch it. I usually would watch it for breakfast the next morning. I would sit there for breakfast and watch maybe Daily Show and Colbert back to back and do it there. But now with the late night show and it's like an hour and a half long.
Well, yeah, and a lot of fluff.
I see the clips online. That's about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of fluff. A lot of plugs from celebrities that I may not necessarily be into. It's just a lot to wade through, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really been. To be fair though, I don't watch. It's not like I'm watching all the other late night hosts either. Also, there might just be too many of those. So
there have been for several decades now.
yeah. Other news, of course, Trump stuff.
Yeah.
Moving along. Okay, next up, we're going to be doing a couple of these. These things are kind of cool. I'm calling these 60-second movie reviews. We don't do as many movie reviews as we used to on the show, but when we do them, I want to make sure they're quick and to the point. So here we go. I'm going to set the clock myself right here, and I'm going to do a 60-second movie review. The guys in the booth should be putting 60 seconds on the screen right now for you, so you can follow along. First one I'm doing, The Founder. Okay, this is the one about the McDonald's company. It's Ray Kroc stole McDonald's away, but I'll talk about it here in just a second. Are we ready for the clock? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, The Founder stars Michael Keaton. It's about Ray Kroc. He was one of the guys who took over McDonald's. It was actually two other guys named McDonald, and then he took it away from them, and he franchised it out, and he sold a bunch of people, and then they took it away. It's basically Facebook, but with burgers. I really, really like the movie. Michael Keaton's amazing. The plot's amazing. The people playing the two brothers are Nick Offerman, who's amazing. I'm going to say amazing about 8 more times, so keep with me. The other brother is played by the bald guy who was on the Drew Carey show back in the day, but I never know his name. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's an amazing actor. He was in Walking Dead. He taught the other guy how to use the bow. Anyway, the movie's great, and it follows kind of that typical American business story of you have a great idea, you make a lot of money with it, somebody else comes along, steals it from you, and makes even more money off of it. That seems to be how you succeed in America. So that was my 60-second review of The Founder, and I am done with 8 seconds to spare. Ha ha!
Nice.
I win. All right, next one up is La La Land. So I'm going to put another 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go with my review of La La Land. Okay, so La La Land, everybody's telling you it's great, it's amazing, and it's wonderful, and you're like, but is it though? It is. It's actually just amazing. It harkens back to the old musicals that our parents watched and loved, and it's got bits of that stuff mixed in with some modern Hollywood magic and nuance that just makes things really pop and is amazing. Just even if you muted the whole movie, it's beautiful just to look at. It uses a lot of color, it uses a lot of amazing imagery and movement in ways that really movies just don't do anymore. And this really harkens back to that old thing. At the end of the day, though, the movie is, and this is why it's getting all the award buzz, a love letter to Los Angeles, where all the awards people live, jazz, which is the music that all the awards people listen to, and acting, which is, again, what all the awards people do for a living. So based on those things, it couldn't not win all the awards. So there you go. That's La La Land. All right, and there we go with 5 seconds to spare. La La Land. Nice.
Oh, bravo.
2 for 2.
Nice.
I really thought I was going to go over on one of those.
Yeah, just a couple of quick stats regarding La La Land. Number one, it is got the potential to be the first musical to win an Oscar since Chicago in 2002.
Wow.
The second since The Sound of Music in 1965.
Holy crap.
I think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen too. I mean, it's I don't know if you watched the Golden Globes, but every single category it got nominated for, with the exception of Best Actress, I think, it won. So yeah, this thing just swept through the Golden Globes, and the Golden Globes are often kind of a precursor to what the Oscars will be, and yeah, it just destroyed everything. So it's a lock. I'm going to call it right now, La La Land Best Picture. There you go. Mm-hmm. Okay, next up. Let me stop that real quick. Next up, looking at this little segment here, we have a little bit we're going to do where we talk about the movies in 2016 that you might have missed and the ones you need to go back and watch. So these are those, okay? Number one on the list, I want to talk about Sing Street. Sing Street is a tiny little independent film coming out of the UK that is basically about a young boy dealing with a lot of family stuff at home, goes to a new school, meets a girl, and because of this starts a band. And then it's everything that happens in his life because of band, girl, and family. And those three things basically bring him into manhood. And it's an amazing story. It's something that you've seen before in certain ways, but it's also new and fresh. All the music in the movie is original, the music that they recorded for the movie, and it's a lot of stuff is really catchy. Just like La La Land, this is getting a lot of time on my playlist right now on Spotify. I'm listening to a lot of the stuff from Sing Street too. It's on Netflix right now, so you can definitely check that out. Have you heard about it? Did you get a chance to look at it?
Unfortunately, I haven't until I was doing my research on this, but I would definitely, it definitely seems like something I'd be interested in.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. It's a slow burn, though.
It's a slow burn from what I understand. My question, it's set in Ireland, correct?
Yes, it is.
Any mention of U2?
No, because it's all set kind of before U2 explodes.
Okay.
So I think U2 was in Ireland making music in the 80s, but they hadn't, it's all like early 80s. So like it's like Duran Duran, and it's it's the very 80s bands.
Right.
So yeah, you'll recognize and his music as an artist grows as the music he listens to changes.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun that way.
I'm down.
Next one up, Midnight Special. This is a cool one. This was actually recommended to me by some of the people that work here. Skylar Sabine recommended this movie, and he was right, because this movie was great. Michael Shannon stars in this one, and it's kind of a E.T. story for the modern world, where it's about a young boy who may or may not have magical powers, superpowers, and the people that are chasing him down, there's a religious component to it too. And it ends up being just this like long chase movie where they're constantly trying to get the boy and also protect the boy, and it really just ends up being this really fun, great ride that I wasn't expecting to love, and I really ended up loving it.
Spoiler alert, I was really hoping they were going to blow up Florida at the end there.
I was too, yeah.
I was really hoping for that.
Yeah, no, it's like just blow it up. It's not going to get better.
Nope.
Just blow up Florida. It's sad. My parents are moving there. But yeah, no, you can still blow it up. It's all right. They're not there yet. So yeah, Midnight Special is a really good one. So check that out. Next one up, this is one that's near and dear to both of our hearts. Don't Think Twice. This is a movie by Mike Birbiglia. This is his second or third movie? Third movie, I think. After Sleepwalk with Me, which is great, and My Girlfriend's Boyfriend was this other one. This one is about an improv group. An improv group centered in, I think, Chicago, New York?
New York City.
New York City. Mm-hmm. And it's the story of what happens when one person of your group makes it. They have a fictional version of Saturday Night Live in the show, and one of the guys from the improv group gets the show. And it's this weird thing where it's this catalyst that as he gets the show, it changes the lives of all the people that are still in the group. It wouldn't seem like it should, but it does, because it makes them all question what they're doing. It makes them all question where they are in their life with their age and with their significant others. It really just creates this agent of change for everything.
It's really interesting because performers in general are very narcissistic people.
Yes.
And that quality does tend to affect a lot of your ways of thinking in different ways. So when confronted with a situation like that, normally you would think, well, I'm very, very happy for my friend. Mm-hmm. Let's support them and move on. But as a performer and a narcissist, you're like, well, what about me? Or when is my time going to come? And it's just a very interesting take on that. And for the record, we're not going to get visited, but we're still pretty good. So please come see us.
Yeah, no, it's always an interesting thing. I've been on a couple groups where we've had certain people that were like of that talent level where you're like, man, if somebody saw them, they'd take off. And even just being in the presence of somebody that is that good creates little bits of tension within the rest of the group where they realize, so now finally, then they start counting how many minutes was he on stage tonight? How many minutes did I get on stage tonight? Why didn't I get as many minutes as him? Well, am I not as... And you never want to rank the group.
Never want to do that.
But at the same time, I will admit to this, I have ranked my group. I was in a group back in the day, and I sat around with the core members of the group, and we ranked the group.
We've never done that. I'm totally going to avoid doing that because I know exactly where I rank.
No, James is great. But yeah, no, it's always an interesting thing, actually. To me, it's something that you kind of got to grow up and admit to, and but yeah, no, it's a great movie. Definitely go check that out. It's probably going to end up on Netflix or something like that. If not, you can get it on iTunes, places like that. Don't Think Twice. All right, next movie is Nice Guys. This is the other big Ryan Gosling movie from this year. I know he did an indie somewhere in there too, but Nice Guys was the other big studio film that he did with Russell Crowe. This is by the director Shane Black, who also did Iron Man 3, who created the Lethal Weapon series and did all those movies. And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So he is a master of the buddy cop story. and this movie is no exception. Nice Guys pairs Russell Crowe with Ryan Gosling, and they are beautiful together. Ryan Gosling's the funniest I've ever seen him in anything he's done, and it's a great story. Again, another story set in L.A., but this one is like 1970s L.A., and just was a really good. It mixes like noir, like crime drama, like all that stuff, but with the fun buddy cop vibe. And I walked out of the theater just loving it. But of course, it gets no awards thing, and didn't do too well at the box office. Did okay, but not. So a lot of people, I'm thinking, didn't see this.
I'm one of those people that hasn't seen it, but I do have to point out that Russell Crowe looks just like John Goodman in The Big Lebowski, if I'm not mistaken.
He did look similar, yeah.
Very close.
He's put on some weight.
That's
in the polite way.
That's acting at its finest. So it's like he doesn't care. It's wonderful.
He doesn't care. No, he's amazing, and he gets to punch people all throughout the movie, which, as any Australian, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So there you go. And number 5, this was another one that I really liked. Saw this at the beginning of the summer. Again, we reviewed it here on the show. Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping, which it's got to be the best title of any movie.
Love that title.
Right?
Love that title
it's an amazing
so much.
title. Yeah. This is the movie. This is Andy Samberg and The Lonely Island. This is the movie they made about a young rapper who thinks he is so good, and in actuality is just okay, and not a lot of people really like him all that much. But this movie became a satirical critique on the entire music industry, from having holograms at your concerts to way too many E! True Hollywood Stories.
Yeah.
At one point in the movie, several groups of E! True Hollywood Stories crews bump into each other and forget who they're supposed to be following. It's amazing. It's a great movie for that. Did you see Popstar?
I have not seen Popstar, but I did check out the trailer today. But I did a little research on this, and I have a list here in front of me.
What list
this is a very, very epic list. A lot of Saturday Night Live films of Saturday Night Live alums are very, very cameo heavy.
Yes.
So I took it upon myself to count how many people made cameos in this film. Let me just give you like a partial list. And these aren't even the Saturday Night Live people, okay? Check it out. Seal, Mariah Carey, Michael Bolton, Weird Al, Justin Timberlake, Big Boy, 50 Cent, Simon Cowell, Snoop Dogg, Pink, Nas, Questlove, RZA, Roots, Ringo freaking Starr. They actually got a freaking Beatle.
They got Ringo, yeah.
They got Ringo. So, I mean, as far as the cameo count,
it was huge.
Huge. Could be a record.
It was a lot.
The only thing that I was missing was Rob Schneider did not make a cameo, which
how the hell did that happen?
I don't know. I was waiting for him to tell me I could do it.
He makes cameos in people's like birthday pictures. I mean, that guy's everywhere.
Yeah, and he's nowhere to be found on this one. That's amazing. That might be the only
I will say my favorite cameo from that list, Seal.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Seal's cameo in the movie is amazing. At one point, he gets attacked by wolves and fights them off, only to be attacked by wolves even more. So, yeah, it's Seal's great in that movie. So, definitely check out Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. All right, next up, we're going to actually throw to our buddy Nick Schreiner down in L.A. Nick's reviewing all the great art house films for us. So, take it away, Nick.
Hey, Ben. It's your boy Nick Schreiner, and I know I'm supposed to be reviewing independent movies, but I couldn't help but see the #1 movie last night. It's Hidden Figures, and it's beautiful.
I agree. Hidden Figures is a very powerful movie. I really enjoyed it. What was your favorite part, do you think? What did you really like about it?
It pulls at the heartstrings and explores a story that apparently was, I don't know if it was necessarily under wraps, but it hadn't been explored yet. It's about these 3 African American women in 1961, in the early 60s, while segregation is happening, who work at NASA, and these three brilliant minds behind some of these major feats in excellence.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing kind of the level of geniuses, where they had Octavia Spencer being brilliant, and then Janelle Monáe being smart, but then Taraji P. Henson's character was on like this whole other level of brilliance. It also was a very emotional movie. What did you think about that?
There was one point in the movie where there was not only not a dry eye in the house, but not a clear nose in the house. They needed to have like a handkerchief intermission and just blow it out, clear the sinuses, reset.
Yeah, no, that's what everybody wants, is blowing their nose on each other in a movie theater. What did you think of like the costumes and the way it all looked? Because it was all very accurate for the 50s and the 60s.
I love period pieces. The early 60s are such a beautiful time, and they really did it well, and the music was great. Pharrell Williams and Hans Zimmer. What a combo, huh? That's like the ace of spades and the jack of hearts.
Yeah, no, the soundtrack was really great. Did a good job of mixing that kind of classic music with, kind of a modern feel to it. That I definitely agree. Pharrell Williams and Hans Zimmer is a great combo. Now you saw that down in LA. How's the theater experience down there?
I like the theater. I had some really good they're like, remember corn nuts, but they're Trader Joe's, so they're like Trader Joe nuts, but half popped kernels and some chocolate, some kind of berry. But I don't think it was an actual berry. Every time I bit into this berry, I was like, this isn't a real berry. This is like a sugar berry.
That's interesting. I've never had sugar berries, so that's interesting. Well, thanks so much for the review, Nick.
Hidden Figures, fabulous. Bye.
Okay. Well, that was Nick Schreiner doing our Hollywood artistic reviews. Thanks so much to Nick for doing that. We'll check in with him next week and see what he's reviewed for us then. All right, moving on to this show, though, here now today, it's time for Suck Not Suck. Now, Suck Not Suck, Jason, the way this works, it's your first time on the show, so I'll explain this. I'm going to give you a little piece of movie news, and that's all I'm going to give you. And you're going to have to tell me whether or not that movie is going to suck or not.
All right.
Okay?
All right, I'll bring it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Number one, this was the big news of the week. Star Wars 8, they've released the title. This is going to be coming out in December. It's The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. I'm going to give this a tentative not suck. Tentative. I'm on the fence on this one. I'm pretty happy it wasn't something like, Star Wars Jar Jar's Redemption, or Star Wars Luke's Kidney Stone, or Star Wars Jawa Hairball, or something like that. I'm going to give it a chance.
I got to say though, Luke's Kidney Stone.
Yeah.
Might be compelling drama. So
I'd like to see him use the Force to let that pass.
Serious. using the Force to pull the kidney stones out of your junk. That'd be good stuff.
Yeah. I don't recommend it.
I agree, not suck. Mostly because at this point, even if it was Jar Jar's Redemption, I would feel hard saying that that's going to suck just because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, more than likely, it's not going to suck.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next one up, Guillermo del Toro. It's not hard to say. I'm just dumb. Guillermo del Toro is making a Pinocchio movie. Now So do you know Guillermo?
I
del Toro?
do. I'm intrigued. I'm going to go with not suck on this one.
Okay.
I'm going to go with not suck on this one, just simply because it needs to be punched up from the Disney version that we all know and love, I think. And I think I'm very curious to see what he does with it.
I'm kind of curious to see what he does with it. My worry, though, is that a lot of his movies look like nightmare hellscapes with things that have eyeballs in their hands and crap like that. In fact, I saw a picture of it earlier, and that's so much nope for me. That's so much I don't want to. No, thank you. So I'm worried that it's going to be like, oh, Pinocchio, you're a wooden boy, and Pinocchio's like, give me your heart, old man, and like rips it out of his chest. I don't want to be part of that. So I'm going to say suck. So all right, moving right along. This is a bit of sad news. There's a movie coming out called A Dog's Purpose. And recently, it's about dogs and how they help with people's lives. Recently, footage from the movie leaked to show one of the dogs in the movie being abused on the set of the movie. They were putting the dog in a perilous situation and letting the dog be afraid because they needed footage of a dog being afraid.
That's a no-brainer. That's a total suck. I'm not a big fan of animals being exploited for entertainment purposes, whether it be Shamu at SeaWorld or petting zoos or any stuff like that. Just all kinds of the suck.
Yeah. I think that's going to suck. Honestly, I wasn't really psyched for this movie to begin with, but now that I hear that they're doing this kind of stuff, there's a part of me that thinks don't even release it. Just scrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
Leave with your, pardon the pun, tail between your legs, and maybe go back and try to make a movie that isn't about dogs and don't hurt dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe partner with Michael Vick and you guys can do something together. Old joke. Number 4, Dave Bautista, who plays Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, It just started shooting the third Avengers movie earlier this week. It's already happened. He's already been shooting it. And at the start of the shooting, had not seen a script yet.
As an improv guy, I don't necessarily think this sucks.
Okay.
That being said, I mean, again, I'm going to have to go tentative not suck on this, just simply because we just got to have to take a wait and see attitude on this.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Well, and the other thing here is that, like Star Wars, the Marvel movies have a track record, and that track record is being freaking awesome. So yeah, you get a pass. It's. I mean, if this was a DC movie and they hadn't seen a script yet, burn the bridges, burn the barns, everything's dead. I don't know what to tell you, but if it's a Marvel movie, I think we're okay. Not suck.
Yeah.
All right, and last one up. This one is kind of crazy, kind of sad. Here we go. Every Which Way But Loose, the charming movie of a truck driver and his monkey, starring Clint Eastwood, is getting a remake.
Okay, confession time. Confession time. I grew up in the 70s, early 80s, whatnot. I wanted to be Clyde.
Oh
I
my
wanted
gosh!
to be Clyde so bad.
Of all the things to listen
So
you
bad.
didn't see, Every Which
So
Way But
bad.
Loose was the thing you saw.
So bad.
Oh my god.
So bad. So bad. So, you know, and here's the thing. It's like, you know, he Clyde the monkey, the orangutan, whatever he is, the primate, he brought all the attitude to that film. Clint Eastwood just sleptwalked through the whole darn thing. Clyde was the film. I have to say it's gonna suck. To be honest with you, it will totally suck. I'm still gonna I'm still gonna see it.
It's a movie with a monkey. They all suck. Every movie with a monkey, with the exception of like
King Kong.
King Kong, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is the other one I'm thinking. But if the monkey is the reason for the movie, that's a bad movie usually. So yeah, that would be my thought. Yeah. So no, that's a dumb idea. Don't do that. Shame on you, Hollywood. Suck. So
I'm gonna go.
all right. Next one. That's the end of the show. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions with the show, issues with the show, and you want to like yell at me, or if you want to be like Jason, you want to be a guest host, you can shoot me an email. It's bigbms at zoho.com. If you like me and want to hear more of what I have to say, which you might, it's possible. I have two podcasts. Both are on the Geek Wars Podcast Network. Just go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts from. Search Geek Wars Podcast, and you'll find me there. It's Geek Wars, and the other one is called Die Hard on a Blank. So check those out. Jason, where can the people find you?
Everywhere. Every week, every Sunday, I do a trivia night at the Maltese at 8 o'clock every Sunday night. February 5th, aforementioned, I will be part of the Hank Duke Good Time Variety Hour. I will be performing solo and with the Cousin Sivas Improv Project. That's at 9 o'clock on February 5th. February 17th, I will be doing stand-up at Shenanigans with Mark Leathers, Don Ashby, Scott Powers, Sydney Hupp, and Zach Reeb. That is at Shenanigans, February 17th. And finally, April 12th, the Cousin Sivas Improv Project will be doing a full show at the Maltese, 7 p.m., April 12th. Now, if you'll excuse me, this is making me hungry. I'm going to go to Gnarly Deli and have a sandwich.
You got a plug for Gnarly Deli in there, too. That's awesome. Nick and Eve, we love you. All right, so thanks so much for watching the show. Tune in next week. We're going to have different people. We're going to be talking about different stuff. One thing that we're definitely going to be talking about, though, is the Oscars. We're going to dive in deep. We're going to teach you how to win your Oscars pool, teach you how to win that so that you're the hit of the party, and then at the end of the night, everybody hates your guts. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.
Cool.